What up? What up? What up? Man, this is Rec League Podcast. I hope that y'all know by now. This is episode 39, whether or not you was keeping count. And my name is Randy Little. In case you ain't know, if you've been with us, I feel like I get into this kind of rant like every episode now. If you keeping up with this show this deep into the run, you already know all of this. My name is Randy Little. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, at Rec League Podcast on YouTube, at Rec League Podcast on Instagram, and at Rec League Pod on Twitter is where you can find us, where you can comment on the episodes, throw in your 2 cents on whatever we talking about, and praise or complain whatever you want to do. Rec League by definition is dudes who had dreams of making it and didn't, so they're not professionals, but they still partake in the sport. We not professionals, and I will address this later on. There's with everybody using the internet right now so much during the quarantine, during the pandemic. I hope everybody is safe and healthy and whatnot. It's some lags in the connection. Actually, I got two guests on this episode. My guy Eric Sigmund gets on the movies with me. My guy O Pizzle gets on the sports and hip hop with me. That's his first appearance on hip hop. But they both in Texas, so usually I got Indianapolis, Virginia, Jersey, wherever my guests might be. Sometimes Portland, but actually both guests was in Texas today, and me and Eric Sigmund talk about our five of our favorite trilogies. Me and Orlando talk about our five favorite NBA teams, five of our favorite NBA teams over the past 10 seasons, and then me and O talk about our five favorite hip hop groups, five of our favorite hip hop groups. Of course, I got bars. And before I bring in E-Sig, we got obviously nothing came out in theaters. Trolls World Tour came out exclusively to rent on, like, I got it DirecTV. I watched it from DirecTV, but Vudu, wherever else you can rent movies from, that's where that came from. And then in between the last two episodes on Blu-ray and DVD, Cats came out, Doolittle came out, Little Women came out this past Tuesday. Just Mercy and Underwater came out. This upcoming Tuesday, in between the next two episodes, this upcoming Tuesday, Bad Boys for Life comes out, The Gentleman comes out, and so does The Turning. I ain't see The Turning. I saw the other two. They were both good. And then the Tuesday before my next episode, the final season of Arrow comes out. I didn't see any movies, but the final season of Arrow comes out, and then like a complete series box set will come out. So when I get back, it's gonna be me and E-Sig. He has some glitches on his end, and I might have too, but he has some glitches with the audio on his end. But bear with us, and we give y'all a real dope, interesting conversation just about some of our favorite movie trilogies, man. It is Rec League Podcast. Alright. Look here, man. We got movies. Nick is usually with us. Got my guy E-Sig. Nick chose work over pod. How dare he? And now Mr. Sigmund is determined to mess up the audio and the sound and the words. And look, it's Rec League. Dudes that play at the Rec League basketball court, they ain't in the NBA. They ain't professionals. So we're going to have some audio glitches and technical difficulties, but we're about to press on. There wasn't a lot of news over the past couple weeks. Josh Trank dropped the now titled Capone. Like, this movie was called Fonzo for like 2.5, 3 years since I first heard about it. But he finally dropped the trailer, and supposedly it's going to be available to stream, to rent, I don't know, to buy. I think on the 12th of May. Um, you said you'd be down to stream this, so you like the trailer, right?
No, I definitely do.
You said
I
doo
mean,
doo.
it's Tom Hardy, so no, but this yeah, I pay $20 for this one.
Yeah, I'll rent it, man. Like I love Chronicle. Like Chronicle is one of the most underrated movies of the past 10 years. And then everybody knows Fantastic Four wasn't his fault. So
Hmm.
yeah, like I don't know if this is gonna be like breaking the mold, like a new gangster classic, but I like the history and the lore behind Al Capone, man. Untouchables, Boardwalk Empire. Like we've got a lot of dope Al Capone media, and I think this is gonna add to that.
Yeah, and I'm just glad to see that he got some work because how he had what happened to him.
Yeah, he was in some Star Wars drama after Fantastic Four too. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Was it
Well, yeah,
a was it a canceled movie or was it like Solo or something?
no, it was one of the sequel movies he was hired for.
Word, he was
Yeah,
hired
yeah.
probably for what Last Jedi,
Actually, I think it was the third one before Colin Trevorrow got the job, and then he got fired.
and then he released all of that. This is what I would have done, and it was
Right.
like I liked Rise of Skywalker, but his title was better and his like outline and all of that was better.
No, it definitely was. Yeah, we when we get into that, they definitely dropped the ball on that trilogy. I mean, whether people like the movie or whether you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I like the trilogy. Like I get like the older I get, you know what I'm saying. I understand all of the behind the scenes, corporate, and money before continuity.
Yeah, but yeah, basically what it was the messed up thing is it could have been prevented.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Um, but the main topic for this segment was your idea. This is your baby. You mentioned trilogies a couple weeks back, and then I didn't know what else to talk about. So I didn't know if y'all wanted. Like I ran it past you, I ran it past Nick. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all the, if you listening, if you want to YouTube, I'm giving y'all the behind the scenes in the group chat right now. I didn't know if we was gonna do like favorite trilogy since 2000. I thought favorite trilogies like in our lifetime could have been fun. But then
Yeah,
you,
yeah, that's
sir, didn't want to exclude Star Wars. Didn't want to exclude what was another one? The Godfather, or I think back. Nick said Back to the Future, and that would have
yeah,
excluded it for me too by a year, technically like
yeah.
7 months. But all time, and I got a couple honorable mentions. So if you got like a 6 or 7 that didn't make it, list those off.
And I do. So let's say at the top five, I have to say what get to. I got a comedy in my top five, and it fought with the spot that comedy is in, and Edgar Wright Cornetto trilogy.
Okay,
And I mean, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Buzz, and The World's End.
I didn't even think of that
And
one. That's a great one.
yeah, and it was close, but the comedy did make it into my top five. I think was just slightly. It stands the test of time. It's an older trilogy of movie, but and I think what gave it its strength. And with that one messed up thing is we joke about this a lot, especially you. It's there's a lot of movies that should be trilogies, but because of belated sequels,
Yeah,
and one in particular we joke about is the Indiana Jones movies,
yeah.
and even Toy Story, and there's just there are a couple other ones I can think of, but another honorable mention is the Man with trilogy, the Clint Eastwood the trilogy of movies. Sergio Leone directed Good, Bad, and Ugly, Fistful of Dollars for dollars more. And that one got edged by a very recent trilogy. So
Now, I think the comedy on my list definitely is not the comedy on your list. And a very recent trilogy that you just mentioned that edged out your other trilogy is not. It is one of my honorable mentions.
That's interesting. Let's hear what that is.
So,
Your honorable mentions
yeah,
first. But
I got two honorable mentions. One of them is the East Rail. Correct me on the number, but 177.
it's is that it? Yeah,
Unbreakable,
I think so.
Split, Glass.
Yeah. Oh
Unbreakable.
yeah.
Unbreakable is M. Night Shyamalan's most underrated movie, most underappreciated movie.
I think it's his best.
Yeah, I mean,
people call me crazy, but
it ain't no Signs, but
okay, I give you that one.
yeah. And then I think Split was his comeback. Like I love Split. Split was so crazy. James McAvoy should get way more praise for Split and Glass than he does. Like, dude played 23, 24 different characters. And then Glass tied it all together and set up a potential future that I heard that he has no interest in really pursuing.
Yeah, that's. Although I did like Glass, but it was has weaknesses. This if you call it I guess Shyamalan gets caught up in what people expect him to do, and the ending was I wouldn't say forced, but anticlimactic.
The Horde knows no weaknesses. And maybe water is a weakness, but
yeah, puddles.
nah, because he showed a little bit of weakness in Unbreakable when it was raining.
That's true.
So and then my other honorable mention is Bad Boys, because I love the first one. Michael Bay's best movie, put Will Smith, Martin Lawrence on the map, and then two is entertaining as hell, but it's doing a little too much.
Oh yeah.
And then I think three is still like in the 6 weeks of. I'll take that back. In the like 9 or 10 weeks of theater going we got this year, Bad Boys for Life was still the most fun I had in the theater so far this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good honorable mentions.
I had my two. I think I was about to add a third, and now I can't remember what it was.
But no, it's fair. It's a decent list. Now to the nitty gritty.
Yup.
All right. So, am I going first or?
Yeah, I'm hospitable, man. Guess first. Like mine ain't in no specific order, so it's not like this is like my fifth favorite, fourth favorite of all time. It's just like 4 of my favorite or 5 of my favorite. My bad.
That's cool. Now that makes sense. So what's I was talking about that comedy, the comedy trilogy that actually made it on the 5, not necessarily top 5, but the Naked Gun trilogy.
Okay, definitely not the comedy trilogy I got.
and the thing with good, I mean, as an example, the thing with good parody movies is that they stand at the time. They become dated. For example, lazy parody writings are all of those Seltzer and I forget their name. Seltzer Freeberg.
Don't besmirch Meet the Spartans and Date Movie and Vampires Suck.
Now look at those movies.
I haven't seen. I saw Date Movie, and then I saw like whatever they did right after, and then I gave up. I was like, man, these suck.
Yes. Well, actually, you know what? Don't even look at the movies. Look at the trailers. The movies are based on trailers of other movies.
Yeah.
They're not even hardcore, spoofs or parodies. They just ooh, look what's popular. That's what automatically dates those movies.
What's been trendy since our last movie?
Right, and the fact it's just not funny. If you go back and look at every one of those, it was Meet the Spartans. Go back and look at the Spartans, and you see the Leave Britney Alone. You like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's and the Naked Gun movies. These are visual gags, layered jokes, and stuff they don't date because it's creative writing.
Yeah, and Leslie Nielsen's delivery.
Exactly. And so that's and just like Airplane, but Airplane's not a trilogy, but
yeah,
Airplane is probably one of the best comedies of all time, and it just doesn't get dated. Obvious stuff like probably clothes and stuff like that, but I'm gonna talk about just the humor.
Yeah,
it's timeless.
Yeah. People still say, "Don't call me Shirley."
Exactly, and that's funny. I am some serious, but yeah, that's definitely the Naked Gun trilogy.
Yeah, while you was talking, like I realized, like my number 5, my comedy trilogy, is also a spoof. I love that you made that face because I'm about to say it, and you about to be like, "Yep." My number 5 is the Austin Powers trilogy.
Oh yeah, I was flirting with that one.
Yeah, because like the first 2 are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Like Goldmember is a little,
yeah,
but it's like, and it's like New Line. Like nobody pays attention to stuff like this except me. But it's like New Line made Austin Powers, and they made Friday, and you got the first movie that like feels like low budget, well made, like real dope, and then you can see each sequel got a bigger budget and it looks more polished. And that's kind of like what I don't like about Goldmember. Like you can see like all the makeup and stuff on Dr. Evil and Mini Me, but it's like the gags. Like Mike Myers put his all into all of this, playing multiple characters,
right.
And like molding the movie around different James Bond movies, and like it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up on Austin Powers. I'll always love Austin Powers.
And Goldmember, the thing, that's the third one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Goldmember, it opens so strong.
Yeah.
With that cam spoof, that thing goes after that never had a chance.
Yeah.
That's right. But saying a lot because the rest of the movie is still okay, it's still good.
Yeah, so that's a Hard Knock Life and all of that.
Yeah, and it's just weird now looking at it. Kevin Spacey is like the evil fool. But anyway.
Tom Cruise was like, "Yeah, baby. Straight American." Didn't try to put no accent on it at all.
It's just Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. I like
Austin
that
was on set. Steven Spielberg was in there. Britney Spears was about to come out with the fembots.
And another thing that with our first picks in common, they are comedy.
Yeah, they got a lot in common.
And consistency, and consistency over the filmmakers.
And see, that's why like the only other movies I haven't seen Mystery Alaska, but like what other movie except Meet the Parents has J. Roach really done that's been like as great as the Austin Powers movies? Because Jennifer Schmucks, The Campaign are super mid to not good at all. And then like he got into all these political movies now.
Yeah, it's true.
And I still haven't watched Bombshell.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good old Jerry. Yeah, he did kind of went the opposite direction or a different spectrum of the other side.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. Let's see. So next, number 4. Number 4. Not 4. 4. So this I kind of I didn't throw it on and off. I was trying to fix this spot. So Back to the Future trilogy.
Come on, man. That's my 4. Oh,
it is?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could talk about this one back and forth. And I want to bring something up. A lot of people talking to
That's heavy.
Somebody, I wonder if they don't get that. But so Back to the Future 1,
classic.
Yeah, it's gonna be 35.
Yeah. This year, 1 turns 35, 3 turns 30.
Yeah, crazy. the thing about Back to the Future is it's such a flawless movie. People don't notice this. This is good. It is that so flawless that even what you consider the flaw is. Marty McFly is the perfect character. I mean, literally, think about it. Marty McFly has no story arc.
Has no story arc?
He has no story arc and no flaws. Think about it. Marty McFly is the same at the beginning of the movie that he is at the end. The only thing that changes is everything around him.
Yeah.
He has no flaws, and because of this is why I added the the chicken thing, because he was so perfect. I realized that for the sequels, he was flawless. But for the first movie, the screenwriting was so tight, you don't notice it. That man, he has no flaws. He has nothing he himself needs to fix about him.
He had a booger in his nose when he was walking down. When he was trying out for the audition, like he had a booger in his nose.
And even they don't play it. It's a good observation. They don't even play that. It happens, and then it's really never spoken about again.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else on him is he got a story. The story doesn't guide it around him.
You're a slacker, Sigmund, just like your father.
But no, it's an excellent movie. That's the amazing about it. And I'm gonna say something people be slap me. Back to the Future 3, I believe, in my opinion, my humble opinion, which is usually facts, Back to the Future
very
3
humble
is overall better movie than Part 2. There we go. And I'll explain it, but
that's what I was just thinking, man. I love to like it's 2 is so trippy. They go to the future, then got to go back to the first movie, but not bump into themselves in the first movie.
Yeah, that's the strength of 2 is the time travel, having fun with the time travel.
Yeah.
But Part 3 is a legit good Western.
Mr. Eastwood.
Yeah, it is. And also, Part 3 does something that first 2 movie really doesn't do. It divests the character of Doc.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a sarcastic joke. I couldn't. Yeah. Yeah, Doc gets a love interest.
Right. And
but they messed up though. Like
uh-oh.
They messed up the geography of Hill Valley. The third movie messed up the ravine.
Oh man. So that's but man, and like you said, they gave him a romantic interest. And unbelievably, this time I think Christopher Lloyd was in his 50s.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's up there.
Yeah, his first screen kiss ever after Back to the Future 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I know. And already at that point, he'd have been in a minute.
Yeah, I would have never known that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said it himself. I just looked that up recently. He's like, yeah, it's my first. Then the second on-screen kiss it is.
The dog and Dennis the Menace? I don't know.
I don't know. What?
Huh?
No, pointless. No, post trivia. Adam's family values.
Joan Cusack.
Yeah.
Huh.
But no, Back to the Future trilogy. That's definitely on the list.
I mean, it was my number 4 too, so just go into 3.
All right, so my number 3 is, I know probably all of these movies are rated in general. People don't talk about, you bring them up, go like, oh yeah, and a lot of people haven't really seen.
We ain't got the same 3.
Yeah, and at all, a lot of people haven't really seen or known that there was a third, the Before trilogy. Before sunrise, before sunset, before midnight.
Yeah.
The Richard Linklater trilogy movies, romantic comedy drama. Ethan Hawke and I forget young lady's name. Julie Depley.
There you go.
Yeah, but fantastic movie, especially when you watch them back to back. And even if you just watch one at a time, pick one to watch. You don't necessarily watch them in order. Interesting.
I'll get around to that eventually.
What ones have you seen? Have you not any? Oh man, you seen any?
Oh, I should say I haven't seen any because people listening can't hear me shake my head. It's a marble in there. You just gotta listen close.
Oh man, yeah, that's definitely check that one out. It's one of the greatest. The first movie is one of the greatest romantic comedies in the '90s, and probably say the same with the other. And check this out. This is cool. So the first movie, Ethan Hawke actually and Julie Depley actually contributed to the script, but didn't get credited.
I think I heard that.
And the second two movies not only did contribute to the script, but each subsequent movies, second and the third one, they got an Academy Award nomination for Best Screenplay.
That's dope.
So yeah, these are some great movies. I definitely recommend it. You and everybody else.
Yeah. Like I wanna eventually like shell out for that Criterion Blu-ray pack.
Yep, it's
I don't even like Criterions. Look, I am middle America movie going trash. So my top three are all like blockbuster trilogies. My number three is the Captain America trilogy. Because once again, like we was in the group chat, and Nick was asking, so do trilogies within universes count?
Yeah,
so, shit. One of mine is, and this is it. And then you posted it. I thought it was on your list. You know, I know we ain't done, so I don't want to spoil nothing. But you posted the Captain America frames the other day, and I was like, man, this dude done seen my list. And because the first one, like, I don't think Joe Johnston gets enough credit for the first Avenger.
Not at all.
Captain America: The First Avenger, in my opinion, is the most unappreciated, underrated MCU movie in the whole universe. Because my only flaw is I think Steve Rogers was a little too small before the Super Soldier Serum. But then like showing his character, how he dove on the grenade, how like all these meatheads are trying to climb up the flagpole, and he just took the rod out and let it drop.
Yeah, and that's totally probably some of the best character development in the MCU period.
Yeah, and then I would say Red Skull is probably the best villain of all of Phase 1, at least to me.
Yeah. Too bad Hugo Weaving didn't have a good experience.
I was just telling my boy the other day that I thought Loki was overrated, and he knows how much I love Red Skull.
Yeah.
And then Winter Soldier and Civil War are two of my top 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Like, Winter Soldier is practically a spy movie.
Yeah, it's a hell of a spy movie.
Yeah.
And also up to that point, the tone of all the movies were this one had like a tone. This card, I'm trying to say is.
And see, like I don't want to start crying and getting into any of the delayed movies this summer, but I wanted the Black Widow movie to be the story that she told with Winter Soldier, like when she got shot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like it makes this is like. You could say Iron Man 2, you could say the first Avengers, but this is like Black Widow is like really a badass in this movie. And then just like the reveal, like Cap like realizing like, oh shit, this is Bucky. I thought he was dead, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then tying back to the first movie. And then what's Buddy from UFC or MMA, like George St. Pierre, like that was a dope fight. He had like the alternate suit, but then he had to go back to the throwback suit for the final battle. The final battle is probably one of the most graphic final battles in the whole MCU.
Yeah.
You're my friend. He's like, bitch, you're my mission. He started wailing on him.
Yeah, no, that's some definitely one of the best movies, the Winter Soldier, that is throughout the entire MCU. It's and to think the Russo brothers came from the sitcoms. Comedy.
Yeah. Like everybody's all up on the Russo brothers now. Ever since 2014, like, oh, the Russo brothers, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and now
but it's like, dog, they directed You, Me, and Dupree with Owen Wilson. Like, let's not forget.
That's damn true, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot about that. Now that the sitcom community has the popularity has been responding because that's this gen thrown on Netflix. I'm sure people are looking at the press like Joe Russo and his brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's and give it they had a little bit of from those guys from the John Wick movie. The second unit director for Winter Soldier was the directors of the first John Wick.
Word.
Yeah, and the director of the second two Jake.
And then
so they were smart about the filmmaking.
Yeah. And then, man, Civil War, man. Like, Civil War was the build-up from the first Avengers to Civil War. Like, Iron Man and Captain America was ready to go to blows from the first time they came face to face. And then, no matter, like, I was always Team Cap. I'm still Team Cap. But, like, that's how dope the writing is. Like, you could pick a side, but the writing is so good that you understand the other side.
No, it's great.
And then, but like, Bucky's on the run. I thought it was a great introduction for Black Panther. I thought it was a great introduction for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
And like the airport fight. Ant-Man, come on.
Yeah.
Like, Civil War has a lot of dope moments. Like, it might not be comic accurate, but Civil War is a lot of fun. Sometimes, like, depending on how I feel during my binges, like, I don't know, sometimes, like, right now I think Civil War is better, but I could rewatch, like, next year and be like, man, Winter Soldier's better. And it's just like the building up towards Infinity War and the universe and what they do for all these characters. And like the Russo brothers, again, had a lot to handle, and I thought they made another great movie.
Yeah. My only squabble about Civil War is greatest movie as it is, is that...
Where's this hang up button?
Yeah. My only squabble is minor. It's not really a flaw, but it is... only hang up is that it's Avengers 25.
And I forgot to say,
the
villain won.
That's just true.
So Avengers these nuts.
And it is. But yeah, if you think about it, this is why the Winter Soldier by me the best Captain America movie.
Yeah,
it's because Civil War, you look at it. You could flip flop that name. It could be Avengers 3, and it wouldn't matter, right?
Nah.
But I'm complaining because it's awesome. You do with all the characters in the movie. But then again, Civil War, that's war without people to fight that war.
Yeah.
So and they had a lot to do, and amazingly, like I said, it was Spider-Man, Black Panther.
Yeah, like and everybody knows by now. Like, Tom Holland probably had like hours. To get ready, like, between approval and like filming his scenes.
Oh yeah, it was and even it wasn't as close as the talent thing was, but two scripts were written in case Downey Jr. didn't go through. And I'm curious that story would have been. And glad it wasn't that.
You and your knowledge.
And the thing is, this is for the nips out there. Civil War, still talking about. So the chase when Black Panther is chasing Bucky and Cap is chasing both of them.
Yeah.
So there's on the chase. There's a sequence where in the tunnel when they're chasing, they're running out after them, right? And Lou froze a bit. There you go. He's still there.
Yep.
All right. No, I was saying the chase scene, they were chasing each other. And they jump out from the building and then they run into the tunnel and they're running in on the truck, right? People were nitpicking about the CG used in the sequence. But thing is, there isn't any CG. The CG used was removal.
Okay.
And the stuntman who played Black Panther in that scene was on a show I recommend. Called Corridor Digital, and they do visual effects, and they were doing that scene, and the guy played Black Panther said they were really doing that, and like when Bucky snatches the motorcycle off of a dude,
yeah,
that was real, that was practical. The cycle wires,
dope.
You know, and people were, look at the CG. Yeah, they were actually landing, being assisted by wires and stuff like that, and I'm like, come on, it's a hell of an action sequence.
Yeah,
but that's just me rambling.
Yeah,
But no, that's a good trilogy though. So where are we now? There we go.
Your top two is gonna have one of my top two. It's got to.
Well, my top two is nothing you could guess probably if you watch movie trilogies ever. And I've been contemplating changing this one, but I won't. My number two, the original Star Wars trilogy.
So that's why you wanted to do all time.
Put that in there. And say what you will about the prequels and the sequel trilogy. The original Star Wars trilogy. And that's funny. The original Star Wars trilogy kind of mirrors the Captain America trilogy.
Yeah.
The second movie in the trilogy is usually voted to be upon the best.
I put Empire first.
Yeah, and but no, it's just a great. If you haven't seen the original Star Wars trilogy, it still holds up. It's just a great trilogy. There's some movies. The first movie we changed the way movies were seen. Basically, didn't invent Buster. That was Jaws. It basically defined what a blockbuster was going to be forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and probably George Lucas's best ring ever. He got nominated for screenplay and director, but no, that's it about that. There's nothing more you can say that I'm sure people haven't heard about the original Star Wars trilogy.
Stupid Ewoks. My number two is the Scream trilogy.
All right. So
no, that's a violation. It's 4 movies. I would have bit y'all head off if y'all would have said Scream.
And that's what I was talking about. I mentioned like most of these should be trilogies.
My number two is the Rambo trilogy. No, it's 5 of them.
Yes, it's crazy. We do say those were the movies that should have been trilogy. But then again, he's one of the best in the series. Rambo, but that's another day.
Yup. What other smart ass picks can I use right quick? My number, on the real, my number 2 I feel like is one of my all time favorite trilogies. But for this discussion, I put it 2 because I think my number 1 is better like crafted, and the third movie in my number 2 I don't think is as strong as any of the movies in my number 1. My number 2 is the Dark Knight trilogy.
That's good.
Because that's your number 1. Because that's the one that I thought you was going to have on the list. And it's like, I don't know, people slight Batman Begins. Batman Begins is like low-key perfect to me. Because it's just that it's that perfect origin story. It made reboots cool. I feel like if Batman Begins would have bombed, there wouldn't have been no Casino Royale. There wouldn't have been no Kelvin Star Treks, etc. You know what I mean? But like Christian Bale, like was coming off like Equilibrium or whatever it was, and put up
Prestige,
packed on all of that muscle, and like he was young Batman. Like he didn't have a suit when he like first made contact with Gordon. He got duped by Ra's al Ghul and Liam Neeson and Ducard. Like all of that training was real dope. Complain about, oh my gosh, we've seen his parents die 80 million times, but like it made you feel, you know what I mean? Like it made it, like they showed him at the play. They showed him his fear of bats. They showed like how his parents passed and like the guilt that he carries, and like Liam Neeson was triggering that, and
he got into his psyche.
Yeah. Like Christopher Nolan come out, and I think Matt Reeves is trying to do something similar, just like explore like what makes Batman tick. And then like I like Katie Holmes more than Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then I was like nobody's ever gonna be able to confirm, but I really want to know, like, was Tom Cruise butthurt that she was in a movie because they was together at the time? And like kind of like twisted her arm. You're not doing the next Batman. Go do the Queen Latifah, Diane Keaton movie.
Oh yeah, that was.
And then
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy, who auditioned to play Batman, was great as Scarecrow. So great they brought him back in the other ones.
Right.
And then I don't want to like harp too much on Batman Begins. Like Batman Begins is like a perfect origin story, and it led into a perfect sequel. Everybody loves The Dark Knight. R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Heath Ledger, one of the all-time great cinematic villains, my favorite movie of all time. And then like I really like Dark Knight Rises, but I just don't feel like it's as strong as the other two. Tom Hardy is great as Bane, but like everybody, like how do you get from the pit back to Gotham on foot with a broken back? Like it has some writing flaws, but I still really like Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, it's yeah, Dark Knight is basically almost was perfect. The heck with that and it's so good. The Dark Knight. I'm just skipping Batman Begins, but now Batman Begins is an awesome movie. People will just tend to forget about it.
Yeah.
Over the other two, but the Dark Knight, Heath Ledger gives great performance that you forget about the other good performances.
Yeah.
Forget
Bale,
about
Eckhart, yeah. Morgan
Aaron
Freeman.
Eckhart's,
Yeah.
I think he has the best performance in the movie.
Yeah.
And but it's just overshadowed, and I say it a lot.
Yeah.
Is
And
but
and I always like, as much as I love The Dark Knight, I still like always say Christopher Nolan did with Two-Face, not Harvey Dent. He did with Two-Face what Sam Raimi did with Venom. He's in the third act. Like that great of a villain, he's barely used.
Yeah, that's but better used.
Yeah, for sure.
than
No question.
Because but that's saying the duality of his character, what Joker does with him, and I think that's perfect. But now I'll tell you, I'll be saying a few minutes when this will my first be. Number one is not the Dark Knight trilogy, because people you said they seem to crap on the Batman Begins or whatever. But my problem with the trilogy is the Dark Knight Rises. Now, I like the movie. It's a good movie.
It was hurting my face.
Dark Knight Rises is a good movie, but that's the problem to me. It's a good movie after a great movie.
Yeah, it was the pressure of the follow up.
Yeah, you could tell Nolan and his brother or writers were written into a corner.
Yeah.
And you can't fault them for that, but then again, at the end of the day, I have to judge what's on the screen.
Yeah.
And I saw the movie twice since this, and after each time after the first I saw it, I started to notice glaring errors of the movie.
I think I saw Rises twice.
Yeah. And even I'm not nitpick about how to get back from, because actually, if I'm not mistaken, they never really said where that place is.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
No, it could have been like the way Zack Snyder set up Gotham and Metropolis. It could have been right across the water.
Yeah, people complain. How did he do that? You don't know where he's coming from. So I'm not finding that nitpicking part. But there are major like flaws, story-wise, character flaws, and spoiler. They missed on the biggest opportunity. So, remember when he reveals who he is to Jim Gordon, when he says is
at the end,
even it's just given a coat.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't a knock on and knocking points down, but I think it's the big opportunity. So at point when he said to Jim Gordon is Catwoman, and Talia al Ghul just died, right?
Yeah, Oscar worthy.
Okay. Yeah, don't even get on that part. At that point, everybody who's there knows or is about to know who that Batman is Bruce Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if he would have used his regular voice to tell Gordon that. Imagine how much dramatic impact that would have had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And said, even if it's given to a boy. I just think that kind of ruined the dramatic impact of that scene.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
that makes sense.
And also, the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is barely in the damn. Batman doesn't show up in the movie 5 minutes into it.
I've never thought about how much screen time Batman actually has in that movie.
I mean, wow, just and Bane, Tom Hardy, he carries the movie quite a bit.
Yeah. Bane is the show.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely a movie, but they did the best they could have done with what the situation was.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah,
that's why,
Nolan,
like after the Dark Knight, I was probably telling my wife, I was probably telling, I don't know, other people, like Joker is Batman's biggest adversary mentally, man. Like you gotta go to his biggest adversary physically. Like I was like, man, Bane has to be the villain in the third movie.
Yeah, it's just in the Dark Knight, the Nolans and Goya didn't write who wrote the line for the Joker. I think we're destined to do forever. They didn't just that in there just to have it.
Yeah.
No, and it was. I'm sure they had eyes up the wazoo what they were gonna do with the Joker. And then out of respect and understanding that he wasn't mentioned at all, because they're gonna replace.
Yeah.
But it was just in a corner. They had to write themselves out of a corner, and for what it was, they did a good job. But I think the trilogy in a whole, I think it is weak. Now, not the whole trilogy. It's a weak link. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about another one that neither one of us might not mention. Cause I have no idea what your one is now.
So I guess my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here is my number one, and I think the biggest strength of this movie is they were filmed simultaneously.
Oh, then we definitely not gonna mention. See, that's how I feel about The Godfather 3.
So they were all of them in this trilogy were filmed simultaneously, and it lends the biggest.
I'm about to spoil your number one. I know what it is.
God knew who you was. There you go. And the acting, the effect time. Each subsequent movie was better than the last, and that's saying something because all these movies, in my opinion, are great. And
see, I didn't include this one because my bad. I didn't want to cut you off.
No.
But I haven't seen these in forever. So like in a couple months, I plan on watching the prequel trilogy and these, and then I'll start them at the end of June, and I'll talk to y'all in November.
Oh, cool. Trust me, they hold up. And so of course the trilogy I'm talking about is Lord of the Rings trilogy.
And you just ignored my joke about how long that was.
Nah. I want to say the name before I forget because I keep talking. But no, yeah, you're right. I'm glad that because my preferred versions of these are the extended editions.
I got the box set that came out in like 2010, 2011. I don't know which ones are in there. I think I just got the theatricals.
Mm-hmm. It's good because they re-released the extended editions in theaters.
Yeah.
And I think they play better and they connect the movies better, but still, whatever version you want to watch, these movies are great. And first movie to win, and sometime the Academy Awards they get it right.
Did Return of the King sweep?
It swept on all of its awards. It was just a running joke to like the seventh win. And you just knew what would happen. And basically, a lot of people look at it as the awards, just awarding the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
And that's why that's happened like that. And but The Return of the King is just one of the most awesome movies ever. And it's rare that the last movie in the trilogy is the best because we usually we pick the second is the best.
Yeah.
Like Captain America and Star Wars, the original trilogy.
Dark Knight, yeah.
But yeah, the Hobbit trilogy is nowhere to be seen. I don't think the Hobbit trilogy would make top 10.
No, it didn't even need to be a trilogy, did it?
Didn't it was originally going to be 2 movies.
Yeah.
And first of all, The Hobbit's one of my favorite books of all time. It's a 300-page book.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't need to be 3
You
movies.
read it in one sitting, but like in 30 minutes if you read it.
Yeah.
But no, The Hobbit was just basically a cash grab. It's but no, they were okay. They're not, but now back to Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's got to be. And like I said, they filmed the movies simultaneously.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not back to back.
How long was that shoot?
No, the shoot they filmed it in '97.
They filmed Fellowship in '97 and then just kept going.
Yeah, they started production started in '97 and they started filming at the end of '97.
Wow.
Yep. And it was so planned and precise. I like Peter Jackson. He put out the special features. And they would go back. They were planning to go back and fix like mistakes with not reshoots but pickups.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit of difference between the two, which are usually when you don't like what you have or whatever. But yeah, and they invented special effects technology for the movie that's still being used and was improved upon. And Ian McKellen is one of the most iconic characters. People forget he actually got an Oscar nomination for the first movie.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
who was it? Either Peter Jackson accommodated him to go play Magneto, or Bryan Singer accommodated him to go play Gandalf, or something like that.
Oh no, it's he started on Lord of the Rings first. Actually, so X-Men came out first. Yeah. I think it was the other way around. Jackson. They saw some dailies and yeah, he was able to go into it.
Good thing, shit.
Yeah. But no, that's number one. Kind of good old the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I want to make like "You Shall Not Pass" jokes or something, but like I said, like the movies ain't fresh in my head right now. How do I word this? My number one is I'm gonna just word it like that. Is the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy.
Oh, there you go.
I think it's close to a perfect trilogy as you can get. And it'll probably be number 2 after I watch these Lord of the Rings in a few months. But yeah, and then Rise, Dawn, War. Rise is crazy relatable, especially to the current climate of the world today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they're testing on the apes, trying to get their intellect, trying to see how smart they are. James Franco illegally bringing Caesar into the crib, trying to cure his dad's Alzheimer's. And then by the end of the movie, humans is getting taken out. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. And then Dawn is 8 or 10 years later.
Yeah.
And then how many of these damn trilogies we talking about Gary Oldman been in? Just 2?
Yeah, seems 2 trilogy.
Yep.
And
then he's like the bad military leader. But then you got Koba, who doesn't agree with Caesar. Toby Kebbell playing Koba. That's why mocap this trilogy, Lord of the Rings, Andy Serkis in general, made motion capture what it is. And that's what true. I'm about to get off on a huge side tangent. If Paramount makes a way better Ninja Turtles adaptation, I want this apes mocap with the look of the 80s Turtles. That'd be so damn cool. But then you got Jason Clarke trying to make peace, and then the apes just trying to live, but it's humans just trying to survive. And then Woody Harrelson come in War for the Planet of the Apes, and then I forgot how dope that was. I ain't gonna say nothing. It's 3 years old. Y'all should have seen it if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is just one of my favorite trilogies, most well made. Caesar overall is a real tragic character, and I'm gonna say it now because Disney is eventually gonna do another Apes movie, and I don't think they know if it's gonna be a reboot or if it's gonna be a fourth movie.
Yeah, that's. Ooh. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna say this. You mentioned talk about underrated. I think Woody Harrelson as an actor is so underrated. I think he's one of the best villain introductions, like probably that year, and that his like the dramatic turn is one of the most overused tropes in movies, but the way they played war when COVID, not COVID, when Caesar sees him, I'm like man, and you get a genuine sense of fear, when he turns and looks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and I'm like, man, Woody Harrelson, you don't think of Woody Harrelson as being intimidating.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson, ever since like the middle of Cheers run, man, Woody Harrelson's been killing it. Heroes, villains, supporting, comedic, serious, still can't jump.
Right. It's his versatility of roles, and then he does a couple years later, still a badass, but more comedic character in the zombie movies.
Yeah. Good thing there ain't 3 of those. That definitely would have made it.
Yeah. The trilogy. Yeah, that's a good pick. And then that definitely be in my top 10.
See, it's like I don't know if it's cheating. It's my show, it's my rules and all of that. But like if it was a trilogy for however long, and then they want to cash grab, make a Scream 4, make a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Rambo, whatever, I don't count that. That's not a trilogy no more. But like if you wanted to break off like Star Wars original trilogy, like if you could have 3 Star Wars picks if you wanted, and I would have let that go.
Yeah, it's just 3 separate trilogies technically, but
even Star Trek. If we was doing 10, I think the Kelvin Star Treks would have made it for me.
Yeah, I get it. Probably number 10, right there. But yeah, that's
But then
no,
I think we gonna cap it, and we gonna come up like I already have ideas for the next one. Cause my wife is kicking all these ideas like do this. And ain't nothing to talk about. So we could do like a time capsule list. Like if we threw movies in a time capsule and somebody dug it up in 100 years, 5 movies for like the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, and then what I was talking about, maybe 2 shows we'll do what actors have worked with the best crop of directors.
No, yeah,
that's gonna be a fun conversation.
A long conversation.
Oh, for sure. And hopefully your audio ain't messing up my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm putting this on Skype.
Yeah. Skype got to get it together.
We've been doing this, and this is the first time.
You know what I mean? 39 episodes. This is the first time any of my guests' audio been like this. Yeah. But when I come back, Orlando gonna be here. We gonna talk top 5 NBA teams of the decade, and then top 5 hip hop groups later on, man. Rec League Podcast. All right, man. As promised, I got my guy, Naptown, Circle City native, O Pizzle, International O, Quarantine O, and then
Let me hit y'all up with this heat right here. Ooh, shit.
Mask on, hand wash, and lists. Like when everything hit the fan, I told y'all we was gonna do a lot of lists just to keep the show going, and Orlando hit the idea. Let's do top 5 favorite NBA teams, because this weekend the NBA playoffs would have started anyway. So let's do top 5 NBA teams of the past 10 years. And man, like this was a hard list to narrow down, and I really did it in the past day. So I know I left a lot of great teams off of my list, but these are my 5 like most memorable, honestly. So hit with your 5, And I don't even know if these are like really the best definitive 5 teams of the decade, but these are like the 5 like dopest teams that really stood out to me. So if you want to start with your 5, man, not kick us off.
Well, I think first and foremost, I had to go with being in San Antonio. By no means I am a Spurs fan, but the 2014 San Antonio Spurs that thrashed the Heat in was it 5 games?
Yeah.
They definitely have to be in the top 5. They had a young Kawhi. You still had the big 3 with Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, and they low key could have made another run the following year with the same core until Kawhi got hurt.
Yeah.
Low key. So with that, the 2014 Spurs, I don't know where I don't necessarily have them ranked yet, but we can do that at the end. I think I have to put in the 2017 Golden State Warriors. That was the first year with KD. Granted, they went 5 games with Cleveland that year, but you just knew once they got to the finals, it was over. There wasn't much LeBron could have did.
Yeah.
An underrated team. Let's go back to 2010. I got the Lakers in there with Kobe.
I
Lamar
almost
Odom.
put them.
You got Pau Gasol in there. Ron Artest with the coming up big. So you got to put that team, and it's probably not the most talented offensive team, but I think that was like one of the last teams of one of the last series of like true defensive series, like in the playoffs. I feel like, and I think it was a Kobe's Game 7. That was his probably his worst game. I think his worst game that series. He was like 6 for 22 that game, but
something like that. Yeah,
an overall team effort on that. You got to put I'm gonna put the 2012 Miami Heat in there.
Okay.
The 2012 Miami Heat. Even though they kind of walked through Oklahoma City in 5, they went on was it a 23 game win streak? Is that year? They won like 23 straight.
Yep.
Yeah. So they started off shaky, but then they got rolling. But to win 23 straight, surpassing Houston's 22 games, I mean that's pretty crazy to run off that. And I also say they're better than the 2013 team because they had fresh legs. It's new run. So you had a determined LeBron, a hungry Wade, a hungry Bosh. Bro, you had Shane Battier coming off the thing. Mario Chalmers.
They had shooters.
Mike Miller. Mike Miller was a sniper. Don't forget. Udonis Haslem. They had a squad. We had a squad. And so, and I'm kind of reluctant to put. I'm really reluctant to put Toronto in there.
Last year?
And not even. Yeah, there are so many things that they didn't. I can't say they were the best team. They were a well-oiled machine without Kawhi. And then they got Kawhi. And then he even missed games during the season. And they had a winning record without him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I can put the 2018 Golden State Warriors in there, or I can put the Toronto Raptors. I feel like if JR hadn't did what he did game 1, I feel like the Cavs in that series would have been a whole completely different series. in 2018. But
Yeah.
we don't know now. But I'm gonna just go with. I'll go with the Raptors 2019.
All right.
Even though I could and probably should put the 2018 Warriors in there, I wanted to have like a little mix, and I feel like the 17 team was probably very bad. So I got the Lakers in 2010, the 2012 Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, the 2017 Warriors, and the 2019 Raptors. So what you got?
All right, I thought we was gonna have completely different lists, but we got one team that's the same. And
The Raptors, right?
I was trying to avoid super teams, and a couple teams I got on here didn't even win the championship. So it's kind of like who I enjoyed watching more.
Okay.
So, and I'm a homer. So my first team is the 2013 Pacers. With when we lost to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals in 7. With
All right, are we doing top 5 teams that we liked, or are we doing like top 5 champions?
You didn't say champions, so I just went teams.
Okay. All right.
So this is the team where PG just yoked all over Birdman.
Birdman, I remember that.
Like Hibbert was a stopper in the paint. This was probably George Hill's overall best year. David West was the anchor. Like, man, like that was the post-Reggie team that I wish could have won a championship.
Yeah.
And then at number 4...
I mean, that was our closest chance, I think.
Yeah. Since Reggie retired, yeah. At number 4, I got the 2011 Bulls, the year Derrick Rose won MVP. He was just eating everybody.
And then he got Booby Miles.
Yeah. Because, like, since quarantine, ESPN...
He shouldn't get in the game.
Yeah. But since quarantine and all this, ESPN is looking for content. So it's like, if you could change one thing, which would you change? Everybody needs to say Derrick Rose getting hurt.
I mean... I don't remember him being that cold though. I remember he was good, but was he that cold? Like, but if you look at his numbers, numbers wise, they were the same as LeBron. Like,
Derrick Rose had springs. He was like so explosive. Like he was the next generation Allen Iverson.
So he was just exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Is that it? Because he had worse numbers than LeBron, and LeBron didn't win the MVP that year. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was just like a discussion between who's the new face, and someone new, or is he actually this good? For me, I never really thought Derrick Rose was.
It's like
that dude.
He got hurt. He got hurt, and then like Russell Westbrook came in and like Monstar Space Jam like all his abilities, because like now that's what Russell Westbrook does.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like. Derrick Rose is in the same category as James Harden. He's a nice player, but not going to be your top player to win a chip.
And see, like that year, like I don't specifically remember that year if they had Jimmy Butler. I know they had Taj Gibson, and I know they had Joakim Noah. Like they was a good team. They pushed the Heat to like 6 in the conference finals.
It was just a young Jimmy Butler that wasn't playing.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did have him, I know. Now I don't think. You know what? I don't think he was on that squad. He could have been on that squad, but it's not playing because they had like a lot of veterans on that squad. I remember Nate Robertson was on that squad, right?
Was he? He might have been. The year they came back like super dominant was the year that he got hurt in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But let me go to number 3 though.
They had what's that point guard's name? I wish I could remember that point guard's name. It wasn't. I know. If I can visually see him, but I can't remember his name. But
Kirk Heinrich.
No, it was a brother. Yeah, but no, Kirk was on that team. Kirk was a monster. People be sleeping on Kirk. Kirk is a beast. Kirk is a beast. He's a bad dude. Taj Gibson, Joe Kim, straight out of Florida. That's a nice squad. That's a nice squad.
But then my top three are championship teams. My top three is the 2011 Mavericks.
Ugh.
Dirk finally got his ring. That's why they on there, because Dirk finally got his. Like
not only Dirk,
Jason Kidd,
bro.
Rick Carlisle, shit.
Peja Stojakovic finally got one. Sean finally got one.
But that was the first Miami Heat year, and yeah, Sean Marion got one, and everybody penciled in the Heat to win the championship, and Dallas was just like, nope.
Bro, they were up 2-1 though.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what happened. Like, how you up 2-1 and get beat 3 straight? I don't know.
That was 2006 revenge.
They petty.
Yeah. And then Mark Cuban been trying to get back ever since.
Who knows about this year? They got a squad.
I swear.
They got a squad.
But then my number 2 is last year's 2019 Raptors. So that's our similarity. Okay. And it's just because of how good they were even without Kawhi. Like, Kawhi was hurt in the playoffs and willed through that shit.
Bro. They were just rolling without him. Bro.
Yep. Like, everybody knows he was in the playoffs hurt. And
I'm like,
and pushed.
You're only as good as your the weakest link on your team, and then they ain't really have no weak links.
Nah,
because everyone played their role, bro.
Even Fred VanVleet, man, like, he had a baby and he came back from having that baby and was wet.
Bowling. He was like, shh. Wichita State.
Yeah.
Sure. And who's your number 1?
And then my number 1, I don't know if you're gonna disagree, but my number 1 is the 2016 Cavs. Coming back from 3-1, LeBron averaged triple-double. They shut down the 73-9 Warriors.
So now I can't say. All right, I like LeBron. Like, I ain't just not even but I can't say they're their best team because they were down 3-0.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, it was 3-1. They came back from 3-1.
But they're down 3-1. Yeah, that's right. But there are just things that. One, here's the thing. Why were you down 3-1? But
Clay, Steph, Draymond, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You put yourself in that situation, and I already don't think Kyrie is he's not a winning basketball player.
Yeah.
He's made winning plays.
Yeah.
I.e. the shot.
That shot. Yeah.
But all in all, he's not. I don't think Kyrie is a winning player.
I feel
if you look at his production, like with win shares,
I just got them on the list more for historic reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. But if I was just putting the best champions of that decade,
yeah,
I could.
See, it's hard to put the Warriors on there. There's always an asterisk by every one of their wins. Kevin Love and Kyrie got hurt in the first ring.
Except 15.
No, the first ring they didn't have. Cleveland didn't have Kevin Love, didn't have Kyrie. The next one was I think that was the Kawhi year when Kawhi got hurt.
2015 they ran. 2015 they faced an injured point guard every series.
Yeah.
And then the conference finals they injured Kawhi.
Yep.
But wow, that's funny. Because the Spurs probably could have went back to back because I think they would have beat Cleveland.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy Kawhi beats the Cavs.
Bro, easy. Too easy.
Kawhi was the best two-way player. Was damn near still is the best two-way player in the league.
If he's healthy.
Yep.
But yeah, no. You know what's funny? I was thinking the other day. I'm like, bro, I feel like people don't even recognize Kevin Durant as a champion.
Nah. I'm past trying to down KD and then the Miami Heat was just like man, that's why I don't want to add super teams. Like, come on, Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Kevin Durant. Like, that's a
was
cheat
like,
code.
bro. Like, what are we doing?
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is not even.
If him and Kyrie like win over the next couple seasons, like then that could be like an argument for next decade.
Man, I wish they had paid James Harden. What he
OKC,
should have been paid, man.
yeah, OKC was close. I almost put one or two Thunder teams on here.
Man, if they had just given James, what was it like $4 or $5 million more?
Yep,
He would have been in OKC.
and
I'm
they
like,
definitely would have
that
won.
nucleus, bro. It was one, bro. Come on, man. That's homegrown talent.
Yep,
They were about to be competing for years. They killed the Spurs the year before. Like, I think they beat the Spurs like 4-2.
yeah. He got traded
Like
the
a
next
veteran.
year, and then went to they went to the finals, and then he got traded.
Yeah, so they went to the finals in 2012. Before he had 1 year left on his contract, and they still traded him for Kevin Martin and
Dudes ain't even got no
someone
more.
else.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, who?
OKC stay losing trades.
Well, I think this was like the first bad one.
Harden.
Like, yeah, okay. I mean, this was like the first bad one that they did.
Yeah.
I feel like, but
then-
other than that, bro, and look at the draft picks that they just got for Paul George, bro.
Yeah, they got
Like, nah, they not.
crazy
bro,
amount of draft picks.
Hey, Steve Presti is set for the next 10 to 15 years, bro.
Yeah.
And then you get Chris Paul. It's like, oh, but here's the thing, bro. Like, give me Chris Paul over Kyrie
Yeah.
for this simple reason. If you put Kyrie on this OKC team after losing Russell Westbrook, they're not even in the playoffs.
Nah. I mean, look at Brooklyn. If Brooklyn was in the West, they're not even top
Bro.
10.
Yeah, exactly my point. I'm like, bro, they were a top 6, 17 in the East last year. Were they the AC last year?
Brooklyn, I think, was 6. But, I mean, they're technically in the playoffs right now. But in the West, they're not.
But I'm like, how do you not elevate that team up higher into a higher seed than what they were? Like, everyone came back. Besides D'Angelo Russell, like, you were supposed to be that piece.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, I don't. And this is not a Kyrie bashing thing, but bro, this as a player, bro, you know, because we from Indiana, like, we had that winning basketball mentality, man. Like, if you're not
Straight like that, yeah.
It's team basketball first, bro. So,
I mean, shit. We was a 4 or 5 seed, and Oladipo wasn't even healthy.
Bro, dog. But hey, check this out. If the NBA starts back in August, does KD play?
I think so.
Ooh. Hey, and then
He's probably ready to go right now.
Oh yeah, he's probably ready to go right now. But that's an interesting dynamic.
Clay
now.
too. That's why I don't even want. Cause like
the work is done. Regardless.
Oh yeah. I'm just talking about like big names that's out.
Oh yeah.
If
you still say Clay. Like,
yeah.
No.
No, I'm saying though, like if they want to finish the regular season and then like start that shit in August, Oladipo gonna be healthier. Our next game was against the Sixers. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons gonna be on the court.
That'd be.
But if they just do the finals, if they jump into the playoffs and then I don't know, that's why like just.
I'd rather just jump into the playoffs, man. It's just kind of like, all right, bro, let's just get it. Because there's really no confusion as to who's in the playoffs besides the 8th seed in the West.
Yeah, I think like the Wizards was making a push in the East, but you had like 5 teams that was competing for the 8th seed in the West.
Yeah.
It was Memphis, Portland, San
San Antonio.
Antonio,
But
Sacramento.
San Antonio definitely gave up. But honestly, I mean, I don't mind just having Memphis in there, leaving it at that, man.
Yeah. Ja Morant was nice.
I would be cool with that. But bro, if they bring back the season and AD's playing, bro, that AC that is one against the Bucks gonna be trouble.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Trouble. Hey.
Hey, KD will come back and then Kyrie will magically be healthy.
Well, how long does the shoulder surgery take to heal?
I don't know.
Because it's already been. Because I think he got that done in January.
Something like that, yeah. Like, it's already been 4 months or so.
And so, realistically speaking, the NBA probably not coming back until August, July, August.
Yeah. Hell
That's
yeah.
like 6, 7 months. I'm like, come on, bro.
But shit, let's put a wrap on this right quick, and then we come back, and we gonna go back and forth about our 5 favorite hip hop groups, man. Rec League. Yo, dealing with these Rec League spitters ain't fair for y'all. Popping all kind of shit and we ain't scared of y'all. Me, myself, I just be rhyming different. Breaking down the syllables can get quite scientific. I'm terrific. When they ramble off names, then mine is listed of who the fuck they think is nice. It ain't safe no more anytime I bust a rhyme. They can't even bust a nut. Talking shit about my dudes, then we had to fuck them up. Now I declare enough's enough. Cause if we get too into the violence, they'll be at your memorial playing the violins. Silence. You clowns might as well try again. Y'all forgot the password and ran out of attempts to try to type it in. Alright, man, it's time to put a wrap on episode 39 of this Rec League podcast, man. Like I said when we was talking sports, me and O, we got lists. So Orlando kicked me the idea to talk 5 favorite hip hop groups. And again, like just like my movie list, this isn't necessarily like ranked, but this is just how I'm gonna spit them. So like I said earlier, I'm hospitable. So if you want to start us off, oh, let's get it.
All right, so I think without a doubt, probably one of the dopest rap groups of all time, Outkast. I'm sure that's on your list for sure, but the hits are just ridiculous. From the '90s to the, I would say mid 2000s. They kind of revolutionized and had their own sound too. It wasn't like a copy sound or a mimic sound from anybody. So I'm not ranking my top 5, but regardless, they're number 1 of the top 5. I got the Yin Yang Twins.
Yin Yang in this thing.
Dum 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 dum. The Yin Yang Twins had some hippie for I would say a good 3-year stretch that still gets played now. Like it's still a banger now. So I definitely I have to have them in there. The Two Live Crew, the most influential rap group in the history of rap groups that probably doesn't get enough praise. Without the Two Live Crew, rap music is played now. Like they had a battle with the Supreme Court for the for using expletive words and descriptions in music. Like they got all the way up to the Supreme Court, just kicking out some knowledge, just in case y'all didn't know. That's why I had the Two Live Crew in there. But you can't go wrong with Uncle Luke. Give me Uncle Luke any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? And I have some recency bias for you all. I fucks with Travis Porter. I like Travis Porter. That's like one of my faves. And I kind of went in between. So I know this is a 5-group one, but I can't. I rock with this group so hard. I think you want to call them a group, but there would be a classified as a group back in the 80s and 90s, bro. I like Eric B. and sorry, not Eric B. Pete Rock and CL Smooth is one of my faves too.
I mean,
I love.
two. I got a couple. There's only two cats.
Yeah, so Pete Rock, CL Smooth, they got the creator, one of the best producers in Pete Rock, bro. Like, could kick the turntables. He had They Reminisce, some of the best remixes of songs. The Jump Around remix is probably one of my top 10 favorite songs. So I had them tied up with Travis Porter because I couldn't leave one of the either or out. But then I got the Migos. Fast back for you all. Me and Quavo was in the same English class, 2010. I shit you not. Berkmore High School. Look me up. You got my track profile on there, so it's verified. I ran track. He played football, bro. Same English class. Who knew at that time, you know? But Migos is definitely in the top 5.
So shit, you could 6 degrees of separation. My ass to the Migos.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
That sounds weird as fuck to say, but let's get it in.
It's like, I think 1 year later we met in class.
Yeah.
Low key.
Yeah.
1 year later, I met Randy, and here we are 10 years later.
Park University at Laughlin.
Oh, time flies, huh?
Hell yeah.
10 years later.
That's wild.
No, it's been 10 years.
I don't know, like we about to get off on a little sidebar right quick.
I know.
But I got out of the military in 2008, went back up there for a year and a half, moved back down to Del Rio from NAP in 2010, and in order to get hired on the flight line, I had to be enrolled in school for STEP program. So that was like March. That was like March 2010, yeah. And I got hired on the flight line in May. So.
And I didn't start taking classes until like that fall. So it was Sarah Florentine was our teacher. No, it was Sarah Florentine.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Not name dropping.
Yeah.
No, but before we get off on the tangent, what's your top 5?
That you listed 5? That was all 5 of them?
I listed 6 technically.
Yeah, because you cheated.
Like 1A, 1B with 1.
Let me see. I got Migos. I got D4L, Beasties, Run DMC, and I got
Who was that one again?
Run DMC, Beasties, and I don't know. All of them was fake answers, so I couldn't think of a 5th fake answer. At 5, I got Wu-Tang. At 5, I got Wu-Tang. Come on, man. 36 Chambers. They was so dope, and they had like Iron Flag, Wu-Tang Forever, the double disc album. Like they was kicking out solo albums with Method Man, with Ghostface.
And they're still culturally relevant.
Yeah, like everybody still rocks with Wu-Tang.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
People rock with Wu-Tang.
Like RZA was on IG Live last weekend, just hit. And then
I like that, yeah.
At number 4,
Boys. I like the Beastie Boys too. Paul Revere is one of my favorite joints.
Yeah, Beasties are dope, but I was like Beasties, Run DMC, like they was a little before my time.
Three Bad Brothers, you know so well.
At 4, I got Outkast. This come on, Southern Playalistic, Aquemini, AT Aliens. I think my favorite Outkast album is probably Stank on Ya. Come on, Bombs Over Baghdad, Miss Jackson, like it had jams. And I think their Idlewild album is crazy underrated.
I mean, is it underrated or is it where it's supposed to be?
I think it's underrated. I'm not saying like I rank it. I might rank it last in their discography, but I just think overall in the hip hop, you know,
People didn't jump.
yeah,
People didn't appreciate it for what it was. Well, what movie? I heard the movie was ass.
I like the movie.
That was the problem. See, like a lot of people didn't like the movie, and people say that was like their worst movie, like that they did or was a part of.
I like the movie.
Like that.
I think
Yeah.
coming off Speaker Box Love Below, getting all them Grammys, I think Expectations was for Idlewild was somewhere else.
Well, Speaker Box is crazy.
Yeah. Like Outkast got hits for days, and like you said, like they paved their own lane, like inspired so many different cats out of Atlanta. Like their influence goes on forever.
So many generations too. Like their music crosses over.
Yeah.
To so many generations. So
at number 3, I got the Clips. Like I jammed to all 3 of their albums.
Grind.
Yeah. You know what I keep in line, and you see it like me shining, grinding. I mean, I'll spit that whole verse. I'm your pusher, and then Hell Hath No Fury. Like everybody was on that. Like XXL gave it a XXL rating. I think it got 5 mics.
Yeah.
And just Neptune's production was A1. And then their last, I don't know about last, because you never know if Push and Malice want to get back and let's do another one. But like Till the Casket drops, I feel like that's one of the nobody talks about, man. Like it's got a fire Cameron feature, it's got a fire Kanye feature, and again it had jams. Like at
that Clips production though,
yeah,
Neptune production.
Neptune's, bruh,
probably the best production duo of all time,
without question.
And I'm trying to think of another one, but I'm like, ain't nobody really messing with the Neptunes like that.
Yeah, for like 2 cats to get in the booth and like collab on beats and have all that longevity, like ain't nobody messing with Chad and Pharrell, man.
Nope, not at all.
At number 2, I got G Unit. Maybe like they have group albums, so and like that's my favorite. Like 50 Cent dominance from Get Rich or Die Trying, from like the time Wanksta came out until like I would say they fell off maybe around Lloyd Banks' second album, and they still put out a little bit after that. It's like when he started trying to sign Mobb Deep and MOP, everybody was like, 50, you doing too much. Like the fallout from the beef with Game. And then Kanye like outselling him when Graduation and Curtis came out on the same day, and Graduation outsold more. That was kind of like their fall off. But like they had like a good 3-4 year run where everything 50 Cent did was gold.
BT was G Unit at the G, and then they had what's her name, Olivia.
Yeah.
Olivia. Bro, yeah. Olivia was jumping there.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm tired of G Unit, bro. Like, put something else on.
And then my number one, my favorite group, especially right now, man. My number 1 is Run the Jewels, Killer Mike and LP. Run the Jewels 4 is my most anticipated album all year. I still bump all 3 of their albums like they just came out.
Bro, I only reason I know Killer Mike is because he had like a song on the 2004 Madden that was jumping. Kill. This is the name of the game.
That's off his debut solo album, Monster.
Oh,
super underrated. Yeah. And then he had he was on The Whole World, that was off the Outkast Greatest Hits album.
Yeah.
And the Scooby Doo soundtrack.
Okay.
But like LP raps too, and he produces their stuff. And like I just saw him on Twitter, I think yesterday or Friday. The only reason they haven't announced a release date for Run the Jewels 4 is because they're waiting on sample clearance.
Okay.
There go a commercial for the Beasties right there.
All right. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know nothing about Killer Mike. besides
Man,
that song.
you gotta look them up. Like Killer Mike got bars. Glitter,
Well,
glisten, floss, gloss.
here's my
I catch a
problem.
beat running like Randy Moss.
Oh, I mean, like I said, that song was beats.
Yeah.
My problem is I like booty music. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I don't care really what you're saying. If girls are dancing to it, hey, I'm with it.
See, like,
but if it's not making, I like club hits.
See, that's why like you fit into that lane where you could rock with all the lyrical stuff and you could rock with all the ignorant club shit. I thought you was gonna have a lot more like young ignorant club shit in there. But you impressed me with the picks though.
It's a fine line. I feel like it's a well thought out list. It crosses over 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, with 2 Live Crew and Pete Rock and CL Smooth, all the way to you still get some 2 Live Crew in there with Outkast.
Yeah.
And then you got the Yin Yang Twins, still with Outkast, still putting out hits, and that kind of ran. Bro, honestly, that ran the South. Bro, the South was Yin Yang Twins, Little John, Outkast dominated from like 2002 to 2005, 2006. Made in the USA was like the last joint that came out.
Outkast came out in '94.
No, I'm talking about like in terms of like Yin Yang Twins and Outkast dominating together.
Oh yeah. Probably around like 98, 99.
I don't think Outkast was dominating until the 2000s.
See, yeah,
mainstream. They weren't mainstream dominating like how they crossed over.
Yeah, like Rosa Parks was a jam, but they wasn't like getting like national radio play probably until like Miss Jackson.
Hey Ya, Miss Jackson. That's when they
Bombs Over Baghdad.
Bro, and then Yin Yang Twins had the whole southern region jumping, like, and then
come here, little
pretty
mama,
much mine is like, if you look at my group, most of my stuff comes from the South.
Yeah, see, like Wu-Tang is New York, Outkast is Atlanta, Clips is Virginia, G-Unit is New York, and then Run the Jewels is 2 dudes, 1 Atlanta, 1 New York. So like mine is practically all like mine's bars. Like I don't care where you from as long as you spitting.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mine's bars.
The South got something to say.
Exactly. So I wish Ludacris was the group. Because Ludacris would have been on this. Luda.
Luda's, and he, man, I feel like he kind of ran the South for a minute too.
He did, yeah. Like Luda had a run.
Like, because Luda was from 2000 to 2004. He had the South locked up. Atlanta locked up.
Back for the first time was 2000, and then Red Light District was 04.
You know.
And then like Outkast was doing their thing. T.I. came in probably 03, 04. Trap music, urban legend.
Bro, and trap music was. I got the CD in my car.
Yep.
And I was like, it's probably one of the only CDs that I still have. And I'm like listening back to it. I'm like, man, he had at least like 4 or 5 hits on this song on the CD.
T.I. had jams.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, and it crossed over to many people.
Yeah. T.I. had jams for days.
Bro, it's crazy, man. Like, it's like,
see,
and people be killing my man Uncle Luke, bro. Like Uncle Luke, bro. I take Uncle Luke over J. Cole, bro. Give me Uncle Luke over J. Cole.
I might have to hang up on you.
Dog, listen to Uncle Luke's jams, then listen to J. Cole's jams, bro.
Hey, Cole is one of my favorite rappers doing it right now.
I mean, the only song I like from Cole is ATM, bro.
ATM goes.
Bro, get it up. Get it up. Get it up.
Yeah. But hey, either we gonna come up with a new list, we gonna come up with something to talk about.
We gotta. I think we gotta have a new list, bro. We gotta do this again.
Or John Connor got an album coming out too that I might want to talk about. So
Please tell me who John Connor is.
I got bars, man, bars. But
I sound like a Denzel movie, John Connor.
nah, that's old buddy from Terminator. So drop comments, drop voice messages about your 5 favorite hip hop groups, about your 5 favorite NBA teams over the past 10 years, your 5 favorite trilogies, man. I want to know what list y'all got, man. So everybody chill until the next episode.